Well, thank you all for being with us today. If you're able, please stand for the posting of the colors, followed by the Star-Spangled Banner, and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Veterans, feel free to salute the flag. Please be seated. Thank you all. We would like to recognize the support of the Daughters of the American Revolution and the Captain Thomas Tabler Chapter, Colonial Dames, 17th Century, for providing the wreaths for our ceremony today, as they do every year. We appreciate that. At this time, let's give a warm welcome to the President of the Muskegon Community College, Dr. John Selman. How was that? You okay?
That was really good, really good. So thank you. Community members and honored guests, welcome to our Veterans Day salute. You know, each year we have this salute here, and it's a special gathering to honor the brave men and women who have served in our armed forces. Today we come together with deep gratitude to reflect on their sacrifices and their freedoms, and the freedoms that we enjoy, thanks to their unwavering support. Your presence here is a testament, though, of our shared commitment to remembering their courage. So thank you for joining this tribute here today. Throughout the afternoon, I invite you to engage with our speakers and to listen to their stories, taking a moment to reflect and connect as well. Let us not celebrate the past, but also look forward to a brighter future. At this time, I would like to recognize Nancy Fry. She is the secretary for Muskegon Community College Board of Trustees and a proud U.S. Air Force veteran, along with her husband Huey, who is also a veteran. Their generous contribution to establish the FRI Veteran Student Success Emergency Fund here at Muskegon Community College reflects their steadfast commitment to supporting veterans. More information about their initiative is available on the tables back there. Again, thank you once again for being here and for standing with those who have so bravely served our country. Enjoy the event, and please join me right now as I welcome Trustee Nancy Fry to the podium as she shares her reflection.
Well, it's good seeing your faces out there. It's hard to get away sometimes from your daily activities to come to something like this, but I can't think of a better reason. So thank you again for being here this afternoon. I don't know how many of you may know about the Quilts of Valor. Anyone here know about the Quilts of Valor? Good. Anyone receive a Quilt of Valor? All right. Well, I got the right crowd here. A Quilt of Valor is awarded to a veteran. It is not considered a gift, so those of you who have received it, you know it wasn't a gift. It is intended to honor the veteran for his or her service, sacrifice, valor, and to comfort and heal them. I wonder, what does valor mean? One of the definitions is boldness and determination when facing battle. Many veterans would feel that they are undeserving of a Quilt of Valor. I believe if they were reminded of the oath of enlistment spoken by them when they enlisted in the military, and those of you who are here who are veterans, would you raise your hands, please? Well, the one time that you raised your hand was the oath of enlistment, and today we recognize you and thank you for your service. We really do thank you for your service. I believe if they were reminded of their oath of enlistment, that they would humbly receive one of the beautiful quilts created by quilters and those who support the mission. They want to thank you, and we want to thank you for where you were stationed, what you did, what you learned, and how you, if you got out of the service, that you used a lot of the training that you received to benefit society and our country of the United States of America. You were in the service for our freedom of our country. I think a lot of times that we don't really realize that until we're out of the service and we look back and we read some of the things in the newspaper and we meet some of the people who served in times of battle, what that really means. Freedom for our country. When you raised your right hand, you were asked to repeat the oath of enlistments in the United States military. This is just a little portion of that oath of enlistment. I do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, according to the regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice, so help me God. I don't know if we really realized when we said those words how important they would be to our future. The oath was first adopted with only minor changes since that adoption. My husband and his 3 brothers, our son-in-law, my father, my brother, and I spoke the oath of enlistment. We raised our right hand to commit our lives to serve in the military, no matter what branch. Those who volunteer to make quilts for the Quilts of Valor understand why military veterans are more than deserving of the honor, and they recognize them for the service to our country. Included in the oath of office are the words, "Defend the Constitution." When representing our country, military personnel are taught that during times of war, they may face combat. That is not a secret. That is not something that's thrust on them after they have taken the oath. It is something that they spoke to when it was time to do so. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, and provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do or ordain and establish the Constitution for the United States of America. I learned even more respect for our country when our family of 4 were stationed in other countries and throughout the United States of America during our 23 years of military service. Spending 6 years in Europe was eye-opening, to say the least, especially the 2 years that we lived on a dusty main street in Adana, Turkey. One day a military parade went through the town, and on the bed of an older truck was a group of men and women, war veterans, Turkish people. The women wore face coverings and dark clothing. A lot of them had tattoos on their face, around their mouth and by their eyes. Each veteran, including the women, wore a black jacket decorated with a multitude of medals they earned during combat. Turkish people were yelling cheers and lined the streets that were shared with camels, donkeys, and horses. The military fighters had a proud but very serious look on their face as they stood tall. They were so proud of their country and so proud to have served it. And I watched this and I thought, I will always look for that when there's a parade in the United States of America or when I see military people in uniform. I will remember that proud look and standing tall. Their fellow fighters often did not return from battle, and that's why they looked so serious when they were on the back of this kind of an old rickety truck. They held on to the sides to keep from falling off, and you know, I shared their pride. Even though it was a different country, a different people, a different culture, I shared their pride with them. Military families in Turkey were often reminded not to touch the Turkish flag, even though the flags hung low as you walked through the sidewalks and down the street. And these were not manicured sidewalks. These were often little dusty paths. But we were told, do not touch the Turkish flag, or there will be repercussions. As I look at our flag, I wonder if we have that kind of respect. I wonder if we taught our children that kind of respect for the flag. I hope so. I hope we do. Well, here are these women sewing quilts for Quilts of Valor. Some have their machines in their home. some are sewing by hand, but it's always to remember veterans and their military service and to know that there will be someone who will be given a quilt. I brought one today. It's sitting next to Dr. Selman. Dr. Selman, would you be kind enough to lift that? We didn't have this plan before, so if he topples over, please help us get him back up. This is a quilt of valor. You will never find one that is just like another. They have different patterns, but they're all red, white, and blue on both sides. And this one happens to be folded in half, so it's a lot bigger than it looks when he holds it up. Beautiful quilts that will be passed down through the family, thank you, John, for years to come. To let a veteran know that even in your darkest moments, you have something to remind you of the warmth of love, caring, and concern. God bless America, and God bless you for being here today. And we know that our veterans appreciate it when we God bless them. Thank you. I have this cart not because of my military experience, but I fell down 4 flights of stairs in Europe.
Well done. Thank you very much. It is indeed an honor to introduce our keynote speaker for today's meeting, today's celebration, today's memory. He brings a wealth of experience and dedication to our veterans and families. He is currently serving as the Deputy Director for Muskegon Department of Military and Veterans Affairs. His public service journey includes serving as a member of the Michigan House of Representatives from 2017 to 2022, and serving as a Muskegon County Commissioner from 2013 to 2016. His distinguished career began with a 4-year service in the United States Air Force as a military police officer, and has since devoted 25 years to public safety as a firefighter and a police officer for Muskegon Heights. His commitment of community service also includes part-time roles in the North Muskegon Police Department and the Muskegon County Sheriff's Department. As a passionate advocate for veterans, he is actively involved in many service organizations, including the VFW, the American Legion, and the Muskegon Northside Veterans Lions Club. In 2014, he played a key role in the Legends flight of West Michigan to Washington, D.C. for World War II veterans. How many know about that, by the way? Some of you? That's really an awesome thing we did, where he visited numerous monuments and memorials. Please join me in welcoming a true champion of our military veterans and their families, Mr. Terry Sabo.
Just to start off, being a former politician, I got to upset some people. So just to make sure everybody understands, when they first started the United States Air Force, does anybody understand why they did that? It's because there was so many people that were scoring so high on the entrance exam, they had to have a place to put them all, so they put all of us in the Air Force. Sorry to the rest of my military friends, but just wanted to make sure I had that out there to start with. So Veterans Day 2024. It is definitely a time to celebrate and appreciate the sacrifices and the contributions of the men and women who have served in our military, a very exclusive group, I should add. You see, only about 1% of the entire country's population decide to put on the uniform. That's active duty, reserve, and National Guard combined. And of that, with that 1% in mind, in Michigan, we have about 530,000 veterans, those that have put on the uniform at one time or another. Now, these are the same people that you may live next to. They're the same people who you see at the grocery store when you're patrolling, same people you're going to see when they're patrolling our neighborhoods to ensure our safety, and who are positive contributors to our community. And I'm proud to be one of those. But some are also the same people who are experiencing homelessness, mental health issues, and even suicidal tendencies, and we need to take notice of this. So for those that are not aware, after my time in the state legislature, as Mr. Conrad had mentioned, I became the Deputy Director of the Michigan Department of Military and Veteran Affairs. Now, the department is far-reaching, as it includes the Michigan Veteran Homes Division, of which we have 3 veteran homes, Grand Rapids, Chesterfield over by Detroit, and then in Marquette. But also we have our Veteran Affairs Division and the National Guard, both Army and Air. And my boss and Michigan's Adjutant General, Major General Paul D. Rogers, emphasizes the phrase, member for life, in our organization. What that means is that once you sign on the dotted line to enter Michigan's National Guard, you are part of a family. The family will be here while you're putting on the uniform in order to support your military career and the mission that you're carrying out. It will also be there to support your spouse and dependents. It'll be there for you after your career, to provide support services as a veteran, and it'll be there in the event you need specialized home health care, and it'll be there to recognize you and your service at the end of life. But specifically for this conversation, I want to highlight our Veteran Affairs work. The agency is providing outreach to all veterans to connect them with their benefits that they deserve. And when I talk about benefits, I'm not talking about like free meals or things like that. I'm talking about benefits such as your disability, your physical and mental health, and financial assistance. The Michigan legislature in recent years has appropriated several $1 million to address the issues of homelessness and suicide in particular. But no matter how much money is allocated, it really falls on us to reach out to our veterans in need, each and every one of us, to be there for them, to listen to them, to build that relationship with them. And for my fellow veterans, I ask that you take it personally to connect with our sisters and our brothers. We need to be there for each other. I really believe that events like this are really, really important. It's good for our veterans to see how much they're appreciated for being a part of that exclusive club that call themselves veterans. It's also important for our younger generation to understand how important our military is, the sacrifices and contributions that are a part of that, and the importance of recognizing those that took the oath. An oath that Trustee Fry had talked about earlier, that one does solemnly swear or affirm that they will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that they will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that they will obey the orders of the President of the United States and orders of the officers appointed over them, according to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. You're not a veteran? I've got a story for you to close out this presentation. And I have to give credit to a guy by the name of Red Skelton. So this Red Skelton was a comedian, personality, several decades ago. And I look here, a lot of people nodding their heads yes. I got a funny feeling when I look over here, there's going to be a lot of people shaking their head no. Okay? Don't know who that guy is. But he came up with this one time, so I got to give him the credit for it. And I tightened it up to make sure it's in tune with the times, but I think you're going to get the gist of it. According to Mr. Skelton, in his words, he says, "We had just finished reciting the Pledge of Allegiance, and the teacher called us all together. And he says, 'Boys and girls, I've been listening to you recite the Pledge of Allegiance all semester, and it seems that it has become monotonous to you. Or it could be you just don't understand the meaning of every word. If I may, I would like to recite the pledge and give you a definition of each word. I, meaning an individual or committee of one. Pledge, dedicate all of my worldly good to give without self-pity. Allegiance, my love and my devotion. To the flag, our standard, Old Glory, a symbol of freedom, and wherever she waves, there is respect, because your loyalty has given her a dignity that shouts, freedom is everybody's job. Of the united, that means we have all come together. States, individual communities that you've united into 50 great states, 50 individual communities with pride and dignity and purpose, all divided by imaginary boundaries, yet united for a common cause, and that's love of country, love for America. And to the republic, a sovereign state in which a power is invested into the representatives chosen by the people to govern. And the government is the people. It's from the people to the leaders, not from the leaders to the people. For which it stands one nation under God, meaning so blessed by your God, indivisible, incapable of being divided. I want to say that one more time. Indivisible, incapable of being divided. With liberty, which is freedom, the right of power for one to live his or her own life without fears, threats, or any sort of retaliation. And justice, principles and qualities of dealing fairly with others. For all. That means it's as much your country as it is my country. To all of my fellow veterans here today, I say thank you. It is truly an honor to be amongst you and to be a part of this great nation. Thank you.
The military branch anthems will now be played and sung by the College Singers and MCC Wind Ensemble. When your branch anthem is presented, please stand.
United States Army, please stand for the Army goes rolling along. With the veterans and members of the United States Marine Corps, please stand for the Marines hymn. With the veterans and members of the United States Navy, please stand for anchors away. With the veterans and members of the United States Coast Guard, please stand for Semper Paratus. Veterans and members of the United States Air Force, please stand for the U.S. Air Force.
Please join as we observe a moment of silence followed by a rifle salute, which will be immediately followed by playing of taps in honor of all the American men and women in the United States Armed Forces who gave the ultimate sacrifice, their own lives, in defense of our great nation. If you are able, please stand and join in singing God Bless America. At this time, we will be retiring the colors. Please welcome Beth Dick, Chief Financial Officer of the Muskegon Community College. Beth Dick.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, and especially our honored veterans, it is an honor, excuse me, it's going to take me a minute to get through this. It's an honor and a privilege to deliver the closing remarks at today's event. Growing up in a family of veterans has greatly impacted my appreciation for service. My father served in World War II, my grandfather in World War I. This appreciation has carried over into my adult life with my husband, Charles, who is an Army veteran, also having many close family members and friends who have served. As we conclude this year's Veterans Day celebration, let us reflect on the significance of the day. We gather to honor the brave men and women who have served our nation with courage, commitment, and selflessness. This day is not just about remembering the past, it is a celebration of the legacy of service that continues to inspire us. The courage of our veterans reminds us that freedom is not free. It is earned through the dedication and sacrifice of those who have answered the call of duty. To our veterans, we owe a debt of gratitude. You have protected our freedoms and set an example for future generations. Your service and sacrifice are the foundation upon which our country stands strong. And for that, we are eternally grateful. To the families of our veterans, your support and love have been the backbone of their strength. Your sacrifices are just as meaningful, and we thank you for supporting your loved ones through the challenges and successes of their service. As we leave here today, let us carry the spirit of this celebration with us. Let us remember the sacrifices made and honor those who continue to serve. Most importantly, let us strive to live in a way that is worthy of our freedoms our veterans have fought so hard to protect. Thank you all for being here today, for your continued support of our veterans, and for making this event a fitting tribute to those who have served. May we always remember, honor, and be grateful. Following this final song, our Veterans Day program is concluded. On behalf of Muskegon Community College, we would like to thank you for your attendance, and please enjoy some refreshments near the entrance after the final song. Thank you.
Well done. That concludes our celebration, our tribute, our honoring of military veterans, not only in this room, but around the world. So y'all have a good day.